Welcome to Copilot Podcasts. 3 in 5 physicians are now using AI in their practice, double what it was just a year ago. Today, we're diving into how artificial intelligence is revolutionizing medical education, from students to practicing physicians, and why some medical schools are falling dangerously behind.
And it's not just about keeping up with technology, it's about fundamentally transforming how we train the next generation of doctors.
You know, what really caught my attention was this recent AMA survey showing that enthusiasm for healthcare AI jumped 5 percentage points in just 1 year. That's a pretty significant shift in the medical community.
And what's fascinating is that while physicians are increasingly embracing AI, many medical students still feel completely unprepared to use it.
Really? Even with all this technology available?
Yeah, according to a 2024 global study, most medical students reported positive attitudes toward AI but felt they lacked adequate training in their curriculum.
That seems like a pretty serious gap between enthusiasm and actual preparation.
It absolutely is. And you know what's interesting? AI is already being used in everything from diagnostic assistance to curriculum redesign and assessment methods.
Can you break that down a bit? What exactly are we talking about when we say AI in medical education?
Well, we're seeing machine learning, natural language processing, and neural networks being used to create virtual patient simulations, automate assessments, and provide personalized learning feedback.
Virtual patient simulations? That sounds pretty advanced.
You know, it's funny, in a way, AI learns medical patterns just like residents do, through repeated exposure and feedback. The difference is, AI can process thousands of cases in the time it takes a human to learn from one.
That's actually a really interesting parallel I hadn't thought about before.
And here's what's really crucial. These tools aren't just fancy tech additions. They're fundamentally changing how medical knowledge is acquired and clinical reasoning is developed.
Speaking of clinical reasoning, I saw this fascinating Stanford study about ChatGPT and medical diagnoses. Want to hear something surprising?
Go ahead.
ChatGPT scored a 92 on diagnostic accuracy, basically an A grade, while physicians, both with and without AI assistance, scored in the mid-70s.
That's actually quite concerning.
Why do you say that?
Because it suggests we're not effectively teaching doctors how to integrate these AI tools into their clinical reasoning process.
So it's not enough to just have the tools. We need to learn how to use them properly.
Exactly. And this is where medical education needs to step up. We're seeing some promising initiatives, though.
What kind of initiatives?
Well, the AMA has developed a 7-part educational series specifically on AI in healthcare, covering everything from ethical considerations to practical applications.
And is that making a difference?
Early results are promising. For example, a recent study of radiology residents showed significant improvements in AI understanding after just a 3-day intensive program.
3 days? That seems pretty quick for such a complex topic.
Well, it's not about making them AI experts, it's about giving them the foundational knowledge they need to work effectively with these tools.
What kind of foundational knowledge are we talking about?
The curriculum typically covers 6 key areas: ethics, theory and application, communication, collaboration, quality improvement, and understanding perceptions and attitudes toward AI.
Ethics seems particularly important here.
Absolutely. It's divided into 2 main areas: patient-centric ethics and data-centric ethics. Both are crucial for responsible AI use in healthcare.
Can you give an example of each?
Sure. Patient-centric ethics might involve ensuring AI recommendations don't override human judgment, while data-centric ethics deals with issues like protecting patient privacy in training data.
Those sound like complex issues to navigate.
They are, and that's exactly why we need structured education around them. We can't just throw AI tools at medical students and expect them to figure it out.
What about practicing physicians? How are they keeping up?
That's another challenge. The AMA research shows that while AI use is increasing rapidly, many physicians feel they need more training to use it effectively.
Is that why some medical schools are falling behind?
Partly. There's also the challenge of developing validated curricula and dealing with infrastructural constraints.
What do you mean by infrastructural constraints?
Everything from having the right technology and data access to having faculty members who are qualified to teach AI concepts.
That makes sense. You can't teach what you don't understand.
Exactly. And this is where interdisciplinary collaboration becomes crucial.
How so?
Well, successful programs often involve partnerships between medical faculty, AI engineers, and clinical practitioners. It creates a more comprehensive learning environment.
Are there any success stories you can share?
Yes, Queen's University developed a 3-week AI workshop that was integrated into their radiology residency program. The results were quite impressive.
What kind of results?
Residents showed increased confidence in understanding AI concepts across 89% of the comprehension questions they were tested on.
That's a significant improvement.
And what's particularly encouraging is that 75% of participants found the material directly applicable to their clinical work.
So it's not just theoretical knowledge, it's practical application.
Precisely. And that's really the key to successful AI integration in medical education, making it practical and immediately applicable.
What about the future? Where do you see this heading?
Well, the research suggests we need a phased, learner-centered approach that evolves with the technology.
Can you elaborate on that?
Instead of trying to teach everything at once, we start with foundational concepts and gradually build up to more complex applications as students progress through their training.
That sounds like a more manageable approach.
And it allows for continuous updates as AI technology evolves, which is crucial in such a rapidly changing field.
Speaking of rapid change, what's the most urgent need right now?
Without question, it's developing standardized AI curricula that can be implemented across medical schools consistently.
And what happens if we don't address this need?
We risk creating a generation of physicians who aren't fully equipped to leverage AI tools effectively, potentially compromising patient care.
That's quite a stark warning.
But it's also an opportunity. We have the chance to reshape medical education in a way that better serves both physicians and patients.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode. The message seems clear. AI in medicine isn't just about the technology, it's about how we prepare people to use it.
Exactly. And just like those radiology residents who saw dramatic improvements after just 3 days of training, sometimes a small investment in education can make a huge difference in practice.
Thanks for joining us on Copilot Podcasts. Remember, the future of medicine isn't just about having better tools, it's about learning how to use them wisely.